What's going on, guys? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite. Today's date is February 22nd, 2022, and we are about to go through my investment portfolio. So there are a lot of things that, happen when it comes to investments. When the market turns, you need to ask yourself, do you really have conviction in these projects? Are you really wanting to hold these projects all the way down to the bottoms and then all the way back up to glory? And do you want to sell on the way up? Do you want to try to sell and then rebuy lower? What's the strategy here? I think that's the most important thing when you are coming up with an investment strategy, or when you're coming up with a game plan. Is the most important thing is the game plan. The most important thing is the strategy. That way if you do that, then and you plot it all out and you become clear with how you're going to execute, then whether the market goes up or the market goes down, you know what you're planning on doing and you know what to do, and then you could just simply do it. And if you are smart, or if you understand that you don't want to put your emotions into these things, what you could do is you could plan everything out and then input all of your trades in beforehand, well in advance, and then just step back and let it be, and let whatever happen. So there's a lot of different things that I want to go through. And what I did was I created a spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet right here. I have my investments, which are my longer term swing trading portfolio. And then I have my actual trading portfolios. I have my NFT accounts, and I have my games and my random things in this as well. So the thing is that I never actually hodl. The only account that I have that I hodl is my Bitcoin account on my CashApp, which basically I just put in a few $100s every single week. I've been doing it for years and years. I haven't been putting in $100 every week. I started out with $10 a week because that's all I could afford back in 2017, and then I bumped it up to $20, and I bumped it up to $50 a week, and then $100 a week, and now it's a few $100s every week that I just put into Bitcoin, never touch it, never do anything with it, and that's the game plan with Bitcoin. But for everything else, I don't want to actually just hodl. What I want to do is swing trade, because I have proven to myself at this point that I am good enough to swing trade and to trade to accumulate more cryptocurrencies. And so I want to go over my strategy and what I'm planning on doing, because I think this is pretty important and it could maybe help you with what you think you want to do. And by the way, as always, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. This is not life advice. This is just simply what I'm doing. And obviously, you need to think about what your situation is and what works best for you. So I'm going to scroll down. I wrote this thing out right here. And the thing that you need to know for me personally is that I have, as I just explained to you up above, I have my investment account. I have my long-term swing trade investment account. I also have my trading account, right? And then I have my miscellaneous accounts like my NFTs and my games and stuff like that. So like I said, I have two accounts. I have my investment account and I have my trading account. And what I used to do is I used to just put a lot of money into the high interest accounts like Celsius and BlockFi and earn interest on my crypto, because I figured, well, heck, I'm going to just hold it anyway, so I might as well earn interest on it. But what I've learned is that I can actually trade and make more money and make more cryptocurrencies than the interest that's given, because on those accounts you get anywhere between 6 to 18% interest on the different cryptocurrencies that you hold. However, I could easily make more than 6% per year, and I could easily make more than 18% per year in my trading account. Like, for instance, in my trading account that I started just a few weeks ago, I'm already up 15%, and that's realized gains. So obviously, I don't want to hold a lot more money in my high interest accounts or in my investment portfolio now. I'd much rather be trading it. So my previous strategy, which was what I used to do, was that I would take the money that I was making in my trading account and I would transfer my winnings to my long-term portfolio account. And the prices kept moving up, which was great. However, this is not an ideal strategy, because when the markets enter into a bear market, you will endure great losses in your investment account. By continuing to add to your investment account when the prices move up, you increase the cost basis of the different cryptocurrencies that you're buying into. So it would be a much more beneficial to average into investments as the price decreases, because then your average cost basis will be lower with each buy. Then once the markets do turn around, you will have much greater gains. So now my strategy is twofold depending on where we are in the market cycle. So if we're in a bear market, I will take the winnings from my trading account, and what I'll do is I will average into my long-term investments in order to lower my cost basis. And I will weight my buys as the prices go down and start buying within 20% of my ideal buy zones. So what I'll do is I'll have my investments and I'll have them charted out. I'll have the charts for them, and I'll have the places that are the most ideal places to buy into the coins that I have high conviction in that I believe will do very, very well. And then once they're within 20% of my ideal buy zone, that's when I will start buying. And then once they hit my ideal buy zone, that's when I will go in much more heavy, and then I will simply just wait and I will swing trade those holds or those investments, but I won't sell them. Okay, I won't sell them at a loss. I will, because they're investments, so I'll only sell them at a gain, and I'll just continue to buy more into them if they fall down. That's probably going to be my strategy right now, and I'll just hold on to them until we experience another bull market. However, if we're in a bull market or experiencing extravagant gains, then I will continually move my profits from my investment portfolio into my trading portfolio in order to hedge my bets. And I'm going to do this because when I first started, I read over and over again that traders don't outperform the market. And this is why I originally designated a much greater percentage of my capital into my long-term investment portfolio, and also why I didn't even touch my investment portfolio. I didn't even swing trade it. I just put it into, BlockFi or Celsius or these high interest accounts, maybe Nexo. However, as I've become a better trader, I've gained enough skill to outperform the market. And this is not just me talking, this is objective. So now, instead of a 60-40 split where 60% plus is put into long-term investments and 40% is traded, I flipped it and will adjust it based on where we are in the market cycle. So the goal now for me is to have 70% of my capital in my trading account and 30% of my capital in my long-term investment account. And this is opposite of what I recommend for most people, because it is true, most people actually lose money trading. So I would not recommend the average person to do this unless you really trade and you become a profitable trader and you track your trades using a software such as CoinMarketMan or any other of these API connected journaling softwares to track your trades, to actually know that you are outperforming the market, and then you could compare it to the market average. Because if you're not doing that, then you're not basing it off of any real data, and it's not good. And also, if you don't use risk management, then I wouldn't put most of my money in a trading account, because you could do extraordinarily well while the market's going up. But I've seen stories. I actually just read a story today about someone who made $250 million and now has $0, near $0 in their account, because they leverage traded and they just 10x'd everything or 50x'd everything on the dips on the way up, and they just YOLO'd. And yeah, they thought they were freaking amazing. I'm sure you thought you were amazing too. And now what do you know? Everyone's down, 50, 60, 70% plus. This guy was down, nearly 100% from over $200 million, at least that's what he's claiming. And so I just don't get it, or maybe it wasn't 200 million, maybe it was 20 million, whether it's 200 million, whether it's 20 million, whether it's 2 million, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's 2 million. It was probably 2 million because I don't believe it would be 200 million. It would be too insane to be 200 million. I believe that 99. Well, I don't believe. No, I guess 99%. I was gonna say I don't believe it's a fact, but I don't know for true. But I do believe that 99% of the people on crypto Twitter are LARPers and they just make stuff up. Me, I'm 100% transparent. I'm real, and I provide API connected trades for you to see, for you to know. So don't believe half the crap. Don't believe 99% of the crap that you see on crypto Twitter. I'm just telling you my experience. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I am basing the fact that I want to have now 70% of my portfolio in my trading account and 30% of my capital in my long-term investment account, based off the fact that since the top back in November, my trading account has actually increased in value in USD, while my investment account, like everyone else's, has dropped by over 30%, 40%, maybe even more. This is also based on the fact that the coins that I hold in my investment portfolio, in my investment account, they're also subject to positions that are just simply spot positions. So what that means is that I just buy them and that's it. However, my trading account, I could take advantage of leveraged positions. So that means that I could essentially increase my leverage that I use on my trades and decrease the amount of collateral needed in each trade. And that will free up more capital to put into more trades. So as an example, let's say I have $10,000 and I put $10,000 into a coin in my investment account. Well, that's all I could utilize. I can't buy anything more because I only had $10,000 and I put it into the coin and that's it. I don't have anything more. However, if I have $10,000 in my trading account and I put it into a coin and then that coin moves up significantly, let's say that coin moves up 50%, okay, because I got in near the bottom of the start of the bull market or something like that. Well, what I could do is I could increase the leverage on that position and then I could take out my initial capital and that will free my capital up and I could put that into another trade. So let's say I put $10,000 into it or whatever, let's just say $10,000 into it and then it moves up. What I could do is I could increase the leverage and then that will mean that I am only putting in a certain amount of collateral into that trade. So I could increase the leverage to 10 and then my $10,000 that I put into that trade, now I only put $1,000 into that trade and 9,000 of that of the $10,000 is borrowed. So now I have $9,000 back that I could put into another trade. And that is the power of leverage. And that's how you can use leverage intelligently instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to, I have $10,000 and I'm going to do 10X and then put $100,000 into a trade. I would never recommend doing that. However, I would recommend using proper risk management. And then if the trade happens to do very, very, very well, then you could use leverage to take out some of your money by leveraging the trade and using less of your own capital as collateral for the trade. So that could be extremely lucrative if done correctly. It's a little difficult to explain. I explain it in my course, or I'm going to be explaining it in my course in version 2.0 at cryptoelite.com. I'm making the video right now on risk management. If you join the VIP, I have a free video right now on risk management, which is somewhere in here. It's in the VIP resources section. So this right here is a video on risk management for everyone. If you are watching this and you're in the VIP, please watch this. It's 2.5 hours long, and it literally goes through every single thing that I know about risk management, other than the margin trading and stuff like that. But yeah, this is an insanely good video that everyone needs to watch. So I have that for the VIP members right now. I'll make it free once I make once I finish up my version 2 of my course. So anyway, now that all of this is out of the way, we could actually get into the actual investments that I have, and I'm going to be going into the charts, and I'm going to be deciding what I want to do with them and where I want to buy. So I am going, and I've already done this. I did this last month, but it's good to continue to update it. So let's jump into the charts and see what we could come up with. So I'm going to start with my major investment account, which is account 1. I'm just going to put, just go through these one by one and see what's happening. Okay, so the format for this video is basically I have my long-term investments in my Discord group, and they're all right here. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Quant, DOT, Morph, Energy Web Token, Parsec, Woo, Decred, XRP, Uni, VeChain, Engine, UFT, which is Uniland, Own Network, also knows or goes by CHX, Illuvium, Star Atlas, and DYDX. I have changed a lot of these. So I'm going to have to go through these, and I'm going to update this right here in the group just so people know. And then also I added Illuvium, Star Atlas, DYDX, and I have charts for these things. Also a couple other ones, KDA, everyone loves KDA, QRDO, so Quadro, XPR, and then AKT. I added all of those, and then that is in my long-term investment strategy, right? channel. And then I also have my investment portfolio. So what I do is, or what I did back last month, was I went through the different coins last month, and I basically just plotted out different levels and like what I'm planning to do with them. So I have to go through all of these and then update all of these. So I'll start off with the long-term investments, and I'll just put my game plan for all of my long-term investments. So let's start off with Bitcoin. Okay, so finally I got my Bitcoin done, and this is what I came up with. This is my investment portfolio, and this is my long-term strategy when it comes to Bitcoin. So my goal is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible and beat out the 6% interest that you get for holding or staking, and you actually get less than that now. At this point you get about 3%. So actually, let me just change that. You only get 3. So that's my goal, is to beat out the holding it. Obviously, holding it, you don't get any more Bitcoin by holding it, but it's also to beat out the interest accounts such as BlockFi, Nexo, Celsius, and those other accounts. That's in my investment long-term swing portfolio, right? So, I have 3. Excuse me. Let me go back. There you go. I have a bunch of different levels. Right now, we're at 38,000. If Bitcoin comes down to $30,589.86 if we're being precise, this is where I'm just going to go all in right here, because it's close enough to the bottom. I'm not going to try to snipe the exact bottom, which was 28,805. I don't care about sniping that. I want to get in here at around 30,500. This is where I got in last time. I said, forget about sniping the exact bottom. I'm getting at 30,500, and I went all in right here, right when it tagged here, and I just held, and then I got out at 66,000. So that was absolutely massive for me. That literally saved that made me more money than that I lost on this entire rundown, right? So I'm going to do the same thing, and I don't care if it falls down. If it falls down to 25,000, which it may do that, because we're, turbulent times. Who knows what's going to happen? We just came off of this huge multi-year bull run, right? So we have this 25K level here, and I'm going to be straight up. If it hits 25,000, Bitcoin hits 25,000, I'm going to be selling off all of my assets, my properties that I own, my real estate. I'm selling it. If I'm renting, I am going to sublease my freaking apartment, move back in with my dad. I'm going to do anything that I possibly can to save money. I'm going to sell my car. I'm going to take out loans. I'm going to go to the bank, take out the biggest loan I could possibly take out. I'm going to do everything I possibly can. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but that's what I'm going to do if Bitcoin hits 25K, because I don't know anything else that in my mind has a 99% chance of minimal from 25K minimum doubling in 1 year, 1 to 2 years, but most likely tripling. And honestly, my thesis is that Bitcoin's going to go to $240,000 at the end of the next cycle. So obviously, if let's say it's 24,000, that's a 10x, right? That's a 10x. Real estate investment's not going to do that. I would rather 10x the money that I have in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, take it out and then just buy the real estate outright, like what I did back here and back here. So that's what I want to do. So that's my game plan. And then for my sells and rebuys, if it comes up to 43,000, I'm going to sell it right here. I'm going to sell some right here, and I'll try to rebuy it maybe 5-10% lower. And then if it comes up here, I will sell a lot more, and then we'll try to rebuy it 5-10% lower. And then same thing up here at $64,854. I'm going to sell it and rebuy a little bit lower. These are my swing trades that will enable me to accumulate more Bitcoin over time and not really have to worry about it. And it's fairly low risk, and it's super easy. So that's my strategy with that. And also I have a small account in my CashApp that I just dollar cost average into every week. I put a couple $100 in, and I just don't really touch it, and I just plan on never ever touching it whatsoever. So that's what I plan on doing for Bitcoin. So we got that now. So now let's move on to the next one, which is Ethereum. Okay, so now I have Ethereum. So this is my Ethereum chart for my investment portfolio, and this is my game plan. You can see right now we're at $2,623. If it comes down to $2,030, so just over $2,000, that's my ideal buy zone. And my ideal buy zone for Ethereum is actually pretty big. It's about a 30% span. So if it reaches $2,030, that's when I'm going to start averaging into ETH. I'm going to start buying Ethereum around there, like heavily. And I'm going to be averaging down all the way from 2030 down to 1800, which 1800 is right around here. It's the bottom of these wicks. That's 1800. It's not down here. However, note that the price may even crash down to around 1420, 1420. I don't care. Okay, I'll be all in by 1800 because it has the possibility of crashing down here, maybe even 1223 or at the 78.6. And honestly, it even has the opportunity or the chance to crash all the way down to the 88%, which is $786. So this is what I'm going to do for Ethereum. If it comes down here, I'm going to start buying in, heavy, stacking my orders down to 1800. However, if it comes down here, this is my price for Ethereum, where I'm just going to sell all of my assets, sell my cars, do exactly what I just mentioned with Bitcoin and go all into Ethereum, because this is insanely undervalued for Ethereum unless there's some major flaw in the Ethereum system or some bug or something. But I highly doubt that that's the case because there isn't one so far. So this is the price where I would just basically go all in, not just all in, but risk more than I have, insert Michael Saylor clip here, so that's my buy. Those are my big buys for Ethereum. And then for selling, if Ethereum pops back up to $3,063, that's pretty close. That's close enough to these tops. So I would sell here, and I would aim to short it here and then take some profits, rebuy a little bit lower, 5, 10, 15%, whatever. I would have to look at it to see exactly where to rebuy. Same thing right here at around just under $4,000. And then also at the very last resistance, right under 5,000 at $4,783. So these are the big three resistances. I guess I should put a little red, a little red thing there just to make it easy. And yeah, this is the game plan. This is definitely the game plan for Ethereum. And what I'll do is I'll put a nice little purple thing here. Maybe I could, or maybe just a different color that's stand out. I'll make it blue because that's pretty cool. Make it different. Just know. All right. And yeah, so that is Ethereum, and this is my game plan for ETH for my investments and like big money type of portfolio. Okay, so next up on my list, I have Quant Network. And if we click on this, you could see that it brings this up. And this is why I invest into altcoins, because altcoins against Bitcoin, they outperform Bitcoin if you get in the right ones. So I got into Quant, and this was February 6th, 2021. Quant against Bitcoin was ranging at around 40,000 Satoshis. So between 24,000 and 120,000, or is it 120,000? Yeah, and 120,000 Satoshis. That's what Quant was range bound with. So I was just buying. And I can't believe I actually bought the majority of my Quant right here. That's absolutely insane, because if you do this, you could see that we had this insane run up, right? This is against Bitcoin too. And remember, Bitcoin went from down here 2021. The low was 2020. No, the low was in 2020. Yeah. So January, February, March, I think. Yeah. So Bitcoin went from 3,000 to 66,000, right? And Quant outperformed Bitcoin by 3,000 491%. So that's why I go into these altcoins that I have a high conviction with. But the thing is, look at what happened. It's down 67% right now compared to Bitcoin all the way from September 2021. So it would have been better to start taking my profits out of my investment account, right, of Quant, and just throwing it back into Bitcoin as things started getting way overheated. Because even if I took my money out of Quant Network back in July of 2021, when the markets crashed, remember the market crashed starting in, I believe, May, right? So this is when the whole market crashed back in May of last year. And then June and July, the market was going down even more. And oddly enough, Quant went up during that time, which is absolutely insane. So Quant went up during that time. But even if I started, de-risking out of my Quant last year, and I missed out this huge 100% run up against Bitcoin, and I still would have done better looking at it now. And that's why I changed my strategy. That's why I changed my strategy from taking my money in my trading account and putting it into Quant, taking my money from my trading account and putting it into my investments. And now what I do is, as the market moves up, I take my money from my investment account and I transfer it to my trading account. So there is a big difference in my strategy at this point, because I hedged all of this in my trading account and I shorted it, and I made money. So in my investment account, it went down. So this is from 2021 February, so the beginning of 2021. So now let's look at the actual chart of what it's looking like right now. Let me go into TradingView and go to Quant USD. Maybe if I go to Quant USD calculated, I'll get the most. What I need to do is I need to find the chart that has the most amount of data, because if I do that, then I can. Wow, what happened? What is this? What is this? $1,000 Quant? Will we see it? This is actually pretty awesome. I like the fact that this is the case. We will see $1,000 Quant one day. Mark my words, it's going to happen. Absolutely. So Quant, they did like a reboot or something. So now a lot of, okay, so KuCoin has the chart that has the most amount of data on it. So this is the chart that I'm going to use. Looking at this chart right now, honestly, I should just buy it. I feel like I should just buy it, and like that's it. I mean, look at how far down it has dropped. And obviously you can't use like, oh, it's dropped this far, so that's a good time to buy. That's not necessarily the best like indication of when you should buy. Obviously it is one indicator of when you should buy, especially if you use it in conjunction with other indicators. But things could drop 60%, 70%, and then they could drop another 50%, But this is for my long-term investment. This is for coins that I have high conviction in, I personally am 99.999% sure that they will rebound and make new all-time highs. I think Quant's going to be $10,000 one day. So, per Quant. So I am pretty comfortable. I am pretty comfortable buying Quant at these levels. I already have it. Like I have it. So yeah, I think I'll just buy it, and then let me just look at this chart real quick, and I will get back to you in 1 second with an updated chart. Okay, so now I have Quant figured out. So this is the deal with Quant. It is down right now from the highs 73%. That's brutal, right? So I have some Quants. I already have some. Obviously I bought it at 85 right here, sold it right here, bought it back right here, right under where it is right now, or right over where it is right now. And I'm trying to decide what to do with it. I think what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to buy back the majority of it. Right now I'm just going to buy it back because I sold it, and I will simply just hold on to it until 155. I was thinking 140. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down to at least here. I'm going to bring this down to here. Even though this is all the way up to 157, I don't see it. Like if it pops back up and then it comes back down here, then I'll buy it back. But this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be, maybe I should just do it what I said, because if it comes back to 133, if it comes up to 143, it's above here. Let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. If I take the Fibonacci, let's say that this is the bottom right here, right? Take the Fibonacci from the bottom to top to the bottom. It would pump up to 137. So 147. So let's do like 140. Let's do right there, right underneath the 78.6 in case it decides to pop back up. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? So this is my game plan. Buy it back right around this area, 115-ish, buy 75% back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the rest at $86 if it happens to fall there, and I'm just going to hold on to it. Even though it, this, like I say, this is the ideal buy zone. It's between 75 and 65. I'm just going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it at 86, even though, damn, 60. Well, actually, no, never mind. Get rid of that. I don't need that. Yeah, this is really the ideal buy zone, this entire area. So I'll be happy if I get it. I'll be happy if I get it here. Quant, like I mentioned a million times, it's going to be so freaking good. So I have the utmost faith in Quant. The thing is, yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say sometimes bear markets, like last bear market was like 2 years, and it went all the way up. Things went up a lot, and then they crashed back all the way down to their lows, and then even lower. So that's why I want to sell it on the way up. But if we get another run, this thing's gonna run like crazy. So I'm gonna buy it here at 86. I'm gonna buy a little bit here, and then I'm gonna buy more at 86, and just hold on to it up until we get to $146. And then that's when I'm going to sell it at 146. And I'll try to rebuy it a little bit lower. If not, then I'll buy it back on a retest of 150, $150, something like that. Maybe, maybe I'm gonna have to decide what I'm gonna do once it reaches this level, because this is major resistance at 157. I'm not gonna lie, this is big resistance. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And so my buys, and definitely gonna sell. Look, if it comes up to once it reaches 270, this is the most obvious sell. This is a huge sell. Absolutely sell it at 270. I'm gonna sell all of it. So 100% here. That, at least you got that down, and I'm gonna buy it down here. So that would be a 200% gain. So that'd be pretty decent. And that's gonna be my investment portfolio for Quant. I only really do long-term swing trades with Quant. I don't try to trade Quant like intradaily, because it just plays by its own rules. So that's Quant. Oh, I actually also forgot to post about the Quant versus Bitcoin chart. So you have to take into account the altcoins and how they fare against Bitcoin. Ethereum might be you should do that with Ethereum as well. So that is a really big thing to keep in mind. Once Ethereum or any altcoin reaches a very big resistance against Bitcoin, then you should transfer the money from that altcoin into Bitcoin or into USD, because the market's probably topping out at that point for that particular coin. So this is the Quant versus Bitcoin chart. And in here, what I'm planning on doing is buying it if it falls down to this level at 2,500 sats. And then I'll probably just hold on to it until it reaches... Honestly, I was going to hold on to it until it reaches here, but there's this resistance right here is way too big. So I'm definitely going to... convert my Quant to Bitcoin here and aim to buy back lower. And this is Yeah, that's 100% the game plan because this is such a huge resistance. So yeah, so I have two different things. What is this? Okay, I don't know why there was two lines, and then I'll make that red. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it here, and then I'll just simply wait. I mean, if it falls down here, if it falls and then it retests here, that could be trouble, and I might want to just get out of Quant. Maybe not. This is why you got to update it. This is why you got to update it at least once a month, just to keep tabs and stuff like that. If it falls down here, maybe I'll get out of it. If it's here, and then I'll try to get it if it reclaims this level. But right now, this is the game plan. So we have it against USD, and now we also have it against Bitcoin. And when these levels get hit against Bitcoin, I take it out of my USD account as well. It's the same difference. It's just whichever one hits first, Bitcoin or USD. Okay, here is Solana. Solana is my third pick overall, and my game plan is this. If it comes down to $55.36, I'm going to be buying quite a substantial amount of Solana with the goal of selling it at 117 or just around 117. And if it's the bottom, then, or wherever the bottom is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Fibonacci and I'm going to, take it from the top to the bottom. I'm going to see where the 38.2 and the 61.8 line up. And then I'm going to draw out the resistances at that point after it bottoms. I can't do that right now because I don't know if it's going to bottom here. I don't know if it's going to bottom here. I don't know if this is the bottom. I don't know anything. So I have to wait. However, I do know the buys because of this Fibonacci, and this is actually perfect. So if you look on the weekly, this looks to me like a 5-wave structure up. And honestly, this right here is bearish, super bearish, because yeah, it bounced off of here, which is what I predicted, but it usually bounces off here, and it should have came up to 155 or 154. It really should have. It didn't reach there, so there's this insane amounts of selling pressure. So I think 55 Sol is pretty achievable. I mean, and honestly, look at the weekly again. There's nothing here. Like no previous support or resistance levels. So 55 is the next really ideal level. So that's what I'm going to be buying back. It's really 55 down to 45 to 55. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll just buy it and I'll just hold it there because it'll undoubtedly shoot up from that point. And if it doesn't shoot up from that point, it'll go down to 34 and then it'll shoot up. I mean, most likely, if we're talking in probabilities, it's most likely going to be shooting up from one of these two levels. So these are where I'm going to be buying some big bags of Sol, and these are my sell where I'm going to be selling is here and here and here, and then also I have to, let me do this real quick. Okay, so basically I just said once the bottom's made, then take the fib from the top to the bottom to find the key resistance levels and update them and set your sell orders at those levels. So that's what I'm going to be doing for Solana. Okay, and looking at Solana against Bitcoin, this looks terrible. This looks really bad. It just fell below the key support level and it just retested it, and now it's falling down again. So I could easily see it against Bitcoin coming down to 15,758 sats, and then all the way down to the 78.6, which is around 9,251 sats. So these are the two levels where I will be buying into Solana if it reaches them against Bitcoin. If it reaches here, I'll go for a trade, and I'll try to do a trade like something like this. And if it reaches here, I'll just buy, and maybe what I'll do is I'll buy it to try to hold it until it reaches here, and then I'll try to sell it to rebuy lower. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for Solana if it reaches this first before it reaches the Solana USD pair. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what will be next in line in terms of the investment portfolio, because I'm really actually trying to consolidate my investment portfolio down into no more than, I want to say 10 coins, because I could better manage them that way instead of going in and out of a million different coins. I could better manage 10. Maybe I'll bump it up to 20. But I really want to consolidate and have less coins so that I could manage them better, because I do tend to manage them very well. And I thought about which one I want to be next up in line, and I came up with Engine Coin. I came up with Engine Coin because Engine Coin has to do with the gaming sector, which I believe is going to be absolutely huge when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And I believe that the gaming industry and crypto gaming will usher in the biggest cohort of people into the cryptocurrency community. And so Engine Coin is great because it's really intertwined within the gaming crypto and also NFT and everything else that is very popular. So I like Engine. And honestly, this is from 2020 and 2021, my previous posts about it, my long-term investment post. And if I click on that, right, this comes up, and this was made in May 13th, 2021. And I just want to show you this because this is pretty crazy. If you look at the long term, and this is why you should do what I teach in my course at cryptoelite.com. This is exactly what I teach, which is top-down analysis, and this is how to trade. So I literally made this May 13th, 2021. Remember that May was the very first top of Bitcoin, right? That's when we had the first crash, started crashing in May, and we had June, July, and August where we were crashing, and then we consolidated, and then we started the bull run back again in around August. So I made this in May. I said, I'm going to buy here, I'm going to sell here, and this is where the price was. And if we press the play button, you can see how it panned out, what actually happened. Look at that. Look at how incredible that is. Right? I didn't really have to do anything. This could have been one trade that made up your entire portfolio. So you would have literally bought the absolute bottom. You would have sold not right there, but right here. So this is a 152% gain. 152% gain. Imagine if you had a very large portfolio and you did that. Like, let's say you had $1 million. Okay, well, at the end of it, you would have made over $1 million. So you would have been fine. You would have been really good, and you would have outperformed just holding the entire way up. You would have missed this run up, but you would have outperformed right now. And so that's what I took 10% of all of my profits here for everything, or for Engine at least, and I took it out. And I actually bought real estate with it. And look at this. This was in November. Remember, November was the big crash. That's when the big crash happened. And that was against Bitcoin and against USD. You could see the same thing where I said, okay, it was May 13th, 2021. I'm going to buy here. I'm going to sell here. Look at how insane that is. Look at how absolutely insane that is. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And so now let's go and, update the Engine trade. And what we need to do is we need to find the chart that has the most data for Engine. Here it is. So we got this, and there we go. So this is from freaking November. This is November 2020. Loved Engine. Top gaming coin out there. How much freaking October, November? Engine this is one of my favorite coins. 3,400%. Pretty damn good. So let me get rid of this, and then I will plot out the levels. It seems like this is actually the same level. It seems like nothing really changed, but let me just do a quick analysis, or let me analyze this and then figure it out, and then be right back. Okay, so I plotted out some pretty key levels. Obviously, let's start from the top. From the top, we have this huge weekly resistance. So I'm going to be selling 100% here, looking to buy back. Also, we have this weekly resistance underneath right here. where I will also be looking to sell and buy back. Let me bring this down though. I want to bring this to here. There you go. And then we have the mid resistance. So this is right in the middle between the bottom and the top, right? So this is a huge resistance because there was massive, first off, it busted through it, and then there was massive support, and then there was massive resistance, and then there was massive support, and then there was one resistance now, and there will be another resistance if it pops back up there. So this is the mid resistance. Sell here and aim to rebuy lower. So I'm going to sell once it hits here, aim to rebuy lower, sell once it hits here, aim to rebuy lower, sell to hit when it hits here, aim to rebuy lower. And then, then after that, sky's the limit. So, and I'll have to use Fibonacci to figure out, where to sell and stuff like that. But this is the case for the resistances. And then of course the weekly support is right here at 94 cents. So we got that. We also, and it honestly, it could come all the way down to the low of 73 cents. Or 76 cents is what I meant, 0.765. So yeah, there's this entire support, and you know what? That's really, it's such a big, it's about 25-30%. And honestly, I'd be comfortable getting in anywhere around here. This is where I'm comfortable getting in, just buying and holding. I love Engine, super comfortable with it. And then as I get more money, I'll just be, putting more money into Engine at this level. So that's the weekly, and I'll bring it down to the daily and then do this. And so I like how it looks on the weekly better, but I'll have it on the daily just so that we have it, and this gives us till June 2022. No, it should be a little bit, there you go. Maybe August 2022. Damn, maybe I'll do the 2 days so we get a little bit more time in here. Yeah, that'll give us till 2023, and that's plenty of time. Also, let me just make this a little bit better. So we have this, and I'm gonna save this. Oh wait, I need to put something on this resistance right here. You know what? Looking at it on the daily, I don't think this is a big enough resistance for me to for it to warrant. Excuse me, on the 2 day, I don't think this is a big enough resistance to warrant trying to sell and rebuy here, because on the weekly, yeah, I'm gonna take this off. I'm taking this off because I don't think, yeah. So these are the three. There's only these three resistances that I see, and then depending on obviously wherever it ends up bottoming out, I will take the Fibonacci and try to yeah, and I will try to do it from the top to the bottom to see where the resistances are. But these are pretty clear resistances right now. So yeah, I'm gonna save this and then publish. Let me just show you what I'm doing. So I'm doing this with all of the coins right now, all of the analysis. I publish the idea, and then I copy this idea right here, okay? And then I go in and I will add an alert on the horizontal line, and I'll say for this one, Engine coming into weekly support, buying here. And then I will post, or I will paste the thing that I just copied, and I will do this so that coming into resistance, it will go off in the VIP underneath the alerts channel, or within the alerts channel, and everyone could know what is happening and when to buy and when to sell. Oops, I have 400 alerts. Okay, so I'm going to have to stop some of my old alerts and then get back to this. Okay, so I'm clearing out a lot of my alerts, and I just want to add something really quickly because I'll probably forget about this. This is sand. If sand hits 1.65475, I'm going to be buying it with the hopes of selling it at 2.771, because this is the 88%. and of the Fibonacci, and that is usually where institutional order flow comes in. So I want to buy some sand here because sand is part of the sandbox, and that sandbox, engine, mana, a lot of these games, they are part of my long-term portfolio because like what I mentioned beforehand about it being like the sector that I believe will really blow up. And so I'm just going to throw this in here, with sand, and this is where I'll be buying. I'll be selling here, and then I'll probably want to buy back, or maybe I'll just take the profits and put it into something else. But this would be a pretty nice solid gain if it hits of somewhere around 62%. So just throwing that in there, and then I'll get back to engine. Oh, and also Axie Infinity as well. If it hits $24.26, then I'll be buying it with the hopes of selling it at $41.43. In case I did not say that already. But yeah, I believe Sand and Axie, they have so much going for them because they have so much adoption already that they're such big names that they would be pretty good to buy. And Sand I might keep. Axie I would not. All right. And when it comes to Engine versus Bitcoin, I am going to wait until it comes back down here to this support. This support is just like so good. So I will be buying some if it comes down to 2,500 sats. And then I will definitely be selling it right here. This is such a big resistance. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing when it comes to Engine against Bitcoin. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so I started going back to see what the next coin that I wanted to add to my long-term investments would be. And I was thinking about it, and it has to be Mana. It has to be Decentraland, because Decentraland is so, first off, it's very close to Meta, which is what Facebook is now. And obviously people, they associate Meta with Mana, and it's a Decentraland. It's a metaverse play, right? So the metaverse is just going to continue to grow. So investing into the biggest metaverse plays there can be, or there is definitely a good look. So Mana is going to be a huge Mana. It's already huge. It has lots of celebrities. It has lots of people in it. Lots of collabs. So it's definitely number 6 on my list when it comes to my long-term investments. It will be Mana. And so I'm going to go into the Mana charts and chart them out. Okay, so here's Mana, and this is Mana USD or Mana USDT. Right now it's at $2.63, and it's right in between the key support right here, which is what it wicked down to twice on the weekly back in January, and then it came all the way up to this really big resistance level at 3.3. Not sure why I forgot that, but obviously that's pretty damn big. So I'm going to add this right here. I'm going to say red, and I'm going to say big resistance, selling Mana here. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 resistances for Mana and 2 big buy zones. So the first buy zone is at the 78.6, which you can see right here. It's also in line with the previous supports and the wicks. So that's a very good buy zone to me. But I don't think that it'll stay here. I think it'll come down even more. I think it'll go down even more eventually. I think it'll bounce from here and then come up to here, possibly come up to even here. But I will be taking half my profits here and half my profits here, because I do think that ultimately it will come down to 1.35, because this run up was just so insane that it definitely needs some cool off period. And this could literally be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be like a 5-way structure up from all the way back there, right? So if that's the case, then we could have this right here be a buy zone, this actually is sort of a buy zone, 2.25. But I'm not even going to risk doing that, because honestly, it simply is it's too risky for me because I think that it'll come down here, and I think it'll also come down here. So just forget what that was. Even though we'll probably see a bounce from that area, I would rather just wait. And I'm gonna wait until it's here, buy a bunch, try to sell it here. If it comes back down, then I will sell it again and look to buy it back right here. But once I buy it here at 1.352, like I said, Mana is one of the biggest coins out there in the metaverse. So I'll just be holding it for a very long time. I'll probably sell some right here, sell some right here, sell some right here, along the way up. But ultimately, like, I see Mana hitting new all-time highs, so I don't see any reason to not buy back in. I'll be trying to buy back in as much as humanly possible. So let's go to the daily, and I'm going to. It's hard. I don't have enough space on here on the daily unless I make it like this, which I guess I'll just make it like that and save it like this. So that is Mana against Tether. And then Mana against Bitcoin, very, very similar. So I will 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you take the Fibonacci from this bottom and go all the way up here, and this could be a 5-wave structure if you look at this like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we have, it comes down to the 61.8 and then bounces up usually up to 30.2, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to take my profits early on this one and take it right here because I think there's too much downward pressure and it will eventually come down. So, but I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that 2 times. I'm going to try it 1 time right here. I'm going to try another time on this 61.8 down here, and I'm going to try it like this. So one's 17%, one's 26.69%. And what I'm going to do is, yeah, that makes sense right there. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is put these trades on, and ultimately I want to wait until it comes down here. And once it comes down here, this lines up. This is 78.6 from the 5-way structure up, and it's the 88% from this structure up, which is the institutional order flow. So, order flow. This is the institutional buy zone. So I want to buy it right here for an investment and just hold this one for a really long time. If it hits here, otherwise I'll be and as it comes down here, I'll be doing quick scalps or quick trades. Okay, so now we're going to go on to KDA, Kadena. This is a super popular cryptocurrency. It gained a lot of notoriety over the course of the late 2021. And I do believe it's a really good cryptocurrency. It has a lot of potential. It was one of my favorites, and I am going to give it a shot because it's, like how Solana went up like crazy, and that was similar to what this is doing, similar to it's another layer 1. KDA is the same thing, and KDA has some big backers or big people. They come from JP Morgan, I think. So fundamentally, I'll have to dive more into it. It's just I don't want to invest in so many layer 1s. I'm sure it's going to do absolutely fine, though. I'm sure it's going to do absolutely great. I mean, my original plan was to wait until it reached like nearly $100. But now this is my game plan. So pretty much if it comes down to 3.3, that's the institutional, that's the 88.8%. The 88%. The only thing about that is that I sort of see it going lower. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling. This could be completely wrong, though. Honestly, this could literally be, and it probably is, totally wrong, that Kadena is not going to do as well as what I was hoping. But I'm just getting a bad feeling about it. But then again, I think I've had that feeling before, and then the coin just goes like absolutely ape wild. So what I'm doing right now, let me see if this is, can I do this right here? Does this work? Somewhat works. Maybe if I bring it higher, if I bring this lower. Yeah, I guess this is the major. There you go. Yeah, so you could see it has the major resistance that it's just continually coming up against. And I'm going to buy some here. But honestly, if it comes back up to 9.7, I got to sell. I got to sell, so I really do. Such a big resistance. Unless it flips this, then I'll get back in, you know, maybe at like 10.5 or something like that. But this is such big resistance. I want to sell most of it here, to be honest. And I'm going to wait until it comes down to 3.3. And then if it comes down to 0.755, then like, yeah, I'm a buyer for sure. For sure. No hate on KDA. Okay, and then we have KDA against Bitcoin, and I could see KDA come down to 8,720 sats. And if it does come here, maybe I'll get a little bit. I'm not looking to load up on it though. However, if it does come down to 5,527 sats, I will definitely be buying a lot, or I will be putting in a lot more. I want to say, I don't know about like a lot, but I'll definitely put in some amount of investment into it at this ideal buy zone down here, and I will be putting in a small amount down here. And obviously, if it reaches here, I'll be selling some in order to hopefully buy back lower. Wow. So I am, continuing to put my alerts in, and look what I got. I got this freaking alert. I got an alert from TradingView saying that I have too many alerts. So it looks like I have 400 alerts in, and the only way to add more alerts is to stop some of my pre-existing ones. So I'm gonna have to cut this video short right here, even though it's like pretty long already. And I'm going to delete a lot of the alerts, a lot of my old alerts, so that I could set new alerts so that the VIP members could get them. And then I'm going to start this video back up and start putting in more alerts into more coins in my investment portfolio. And other than that, there's still, let me just go into Morpheus, because that was my last one. So this is Morpheus. If Morpheus network hits 0.508, that's where I'm going to be buying for my investment account, because I do love Morpheus network. I love MNW. I think it's a great coin. And this is where I will be selling it. So I'm just going to be buying it here, investing it into it here, and then I'll just put a sell order for it here. And obviously I'm going to sell it, half of it here, and then I'm going to take the USD that I make from this, and I'm going to put it into my trading account. And I'm doing this because of the fact that MNW has, hopefully this was saved. Yeah, this is the ideal buy zone. It's the lowest point on the graph, one of the lowest points of the graph. If you go to cointrader.pro, you could get these charts that have the different coins up against the US dollar or up against Bitcoin in the longest amount of time, for the longest amount of time. So this shows it all the way from 2018. So yeah, if it comes back down here, I'm going to be buying it because I do love Morpheus network. I will also get a node for Morpheus. In fact, I should honestly, let me put that in here, because I want to, hold on a second. Where is it? Here we go. MNW. So it's this one. And then I will also put, I'll also edit my alert, and I will say, also buy a master node now. I want to buy a master node because that will give me passive income for MNW, and I believe in the project. So I added buy a master node. So that's MNW. And yeah, I'm going to end this here because obviously I need to get rid of the alerts. 400 alerts, too many. So I'm going to do that. Also, it's 3:40 in the morning, so I should probably go to sleep and finish this later. So I'm going to upload this right now because it's going to take hours and hours and hours to upload this. And then I will start the new version when I wake up tomorrow, and I will continue to do that. The next thing on my list after that is to create more video. Okay, so I got to finish my risk management video part 2. And then I have to check all of my trades that I'm currently in and chart them out and make a video on that. And then also I'm going to be going over some of these coins in my investment portfolio, such as Morpheus Network. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of more of a deep dive on them. And then I'm going to do some other stuff that will be beneficial to everybody. So that's going to be it. Thanks you so much for watching. keep on stacking sats. Keep on investing. Remember, as the prices go lower, if you invest into solid projects, eventually there's a rebound, and then you make a lot of money, and you make the most amount of money when people are fearful. So be fearful when people are greedy, such as what was happening in November, and be greedy when people are fearful. And trust me, if a big war, gets initiated between Russia or China or something like that, then the markets will tank. Everything will tank. That's going to be the best time to buy, is when everything tanks and everyone's scared as hell. Also, put in market orders for very, very, very low prices, just in case we get some huge wicks to the downside. You could snag up some crypto on the cheap, and that is my recommendation. So with that, I will fare you adieu, and I will talk to you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video. See y'all later. Peace out. Bye.